What's going on, guys? It's Mark Computer Services. Big shout out to Computer Techie Buddy on Twitter, follower, etc. He goes by Paul Boyd at capital Paul, capital A, capital B, 0223423994. Once again, shout out to you, Paul Boyd. I was supposed to do this video a while back, probably like a month ago. He requested talk about it, why. So here I'm about what antivirus I recommend I use, etc. So me personally, wise, I love to use Malwarebytes because it's less load in the system as far as the operating system itself on any Windows computer wise. Yeah, a bunch of them nowadays, like this a lot. You got Windows Defender, which is good. Then you also have, once again, I prefer Malwarebytes. They have AVG, McAfee, Norton / 7tech, Avast. So those are also good antivirus software. The downfall, those things are load up the OS dramatically wise, and it slows down the computer quite a bit. I understand because they have all the crazy features to protect the computer, but definitely the downfall is it slows it down. So if you're not running SSDs, 16 gigabytes RAM plus, you'll really notice it, and then just installing software itself, it'll slow it down. And then you have to fine tune the operating system to make it a little faster, more responsive, but even then, it just sucks a lot of juice. So once again, me personally, I prefer Malwarebytes, honestly, because less on the system and it does its job. And honestly, for the most part, real talk, real computer talk, everyday person, not hackers, coders, all that great jazz. For the most part, you won't catch nothing. The most you can get is pop-ups. So a lot of people that don't speak computers. So when, for example, kids are bad about this, they'll, for example, they want to download Fortnite, right? They'll download it. Sometimes it'll have like multiple questions. Kids don't like to read. Sometimes the adults don't like to read, and they just want to push OK to everything. So they pushed OK to everything without reading. So they downloaded Fortnite. Yes, the downfall is now they downloaded the Weather Channel, and free antivirus. But once again, free antivirus, anything that's free for the most part, for antivirus and software, sometimes has much add-ons, etc. And the free antivirus, for the most part, is not clean. Nothing is showing it's doing something, but it won't do nothing in reality, honestly, until you buy it. So the breakdown in reality, you don't really, for the most part, get for the most part, you won't get no viruses. Honestly, they're just once again pop-ups, add-ons, etc. So, and those are really easy to fix because let's say, for example, your kid downloads something, you turn it on, it's your person computer-wise as a parent, buddy, etc. And you turn it on, it has all this, it boots up, boom, Weather Channel, antivirus is running, scanning, and you're like, whoa, what's all this, and then you just talk to whomever using the computer, hey, what'd you do to this? Like, I let you use it, but what'd you download? Oh, I downloaded Fortnite, but when I did, it has all this, and all you have to do, honestly, is go to control panel, go to control panel wise, sorry, and just look for, for example, it was yesterday's date, so on the 8th, go anything on the 8th while it was installed, and if, for example, it'll show Fortnite, and it'll show, like, for example, the Weather Channel, AVG, just all you gotta do is uninstall those programs. For the most part, it'll uninstall automatically, and sometimes it'll tell you to restart because it wants to remove all the files from the registry, etc. Diminish it wise. Sometimes it won't, and it'll leave folders. So that's when you gotta go into your typically the C drive. Go in there, go to program files, and look for AVG, Weather Channel, and just erase the whole folder itself after it's installed, so you don't have anything behind it. Then you can use other software like IOBit uninstaller, which is really good software because it'll install it for sure. And instead of if you're not really good with computers, instead of you digging for the folders, etc., going to the registry wise, they actually does it all for you. Just you can download it. It's actually free, honestly. You can buy. I recommend buying it, but you can use the free version because all you do is installing, and it will do all the job for you of finding that for example, once again, the Weather Channel, and just install it, clean everything out, plus the registry wise, so that's all fully out of there, so you don't have no clutter, anything behind it, etc. So that's honestly the main talk about as far as antivirus. I prefer, Malwarebytes. You can even use Windows Defenders, honestly, for the most part. Like I tell you, this could be a long video, which I'm more likely, if my camera accepts it, I will go all the way with it. But honestly, for the most part, once again, the breakdown. And viruses you can get, yes, you can catch, but once again, you go to the wrong website, download the wrong things. If you're, on the wrong website in general, and then you just catch something. So in the very beginning of everything, honestly, like I tell people, you always do backups. That's the main thing. Whatever you really care about, no matter if it's pictures, documents, videos, etc., whatever you really care about, you cherish. For the most part, like if you lose it, you'll die. You're like, well, so where'd it go, and now you're scrounging looking for it. You always gotta do backups. Remember that. So whatever you care about for the most part, do backups in the regular way, because you need to do backups just in case it crashes, your hard drive SSD completely dies, and then you can potentially recover it by cloning the hard drive SSD, or if it's that dead, send it off to the data recovery places, and hopefully they can do it, but now it can be costly. It can be $1,000, $2,000, if they get it, it's gonna be costly to get the information. So that's why I tell people, yeah, do backups of backups. You have so much opportunity, so much free software, the cloud, etc. Google Drive, Dropbox, external hard drives, flash drives. Just back everything up. Whatever you really care about, just do backups. If you don't get crazy with it, let's say, God forbid, your place burns down, your business burns down, but do backups, and then your bank, get a Dropbox up, put it in there, and boom. For the most part, it shouldn't happen. There's no stealing, or it burns down. So versus a home or a business, etc. So like tell people, once again, do backups in the beginning of anything with antivirus and all that stuff. Just do backups, because let's say you do catch something, because there are some nasty viruses out there, Trojans, etc., that will like those one of worms, they'll just start eating files, or what they do, they'll change the codecs of all your files, and then you'll have all your pictures. Like I had a couple customers, they caught something. Luckily they did backups, but if they didn't, they would have pretty much been done, because they caught some type of virus. And I don't speak all the virus talk out there for the most part, but it changed the codecs of everything. So all their documents, pictures, videos, it just changed the specific codecs, and that's it. And left a message saying, hey, if you want all your information back, you gotta call his number, and basically they give it to you. But there's basically a ransom, then they charge you whatever just to get it back. So lucky in that situation, they did backups, and all I did was just wipe it up, wipe the hard drive completely, do a fresh Windows install, and back to normal. Sometimes they say that even when you do that, when you supposedly wipe the hard drive SSD, potentially supposedly that there's crazy viruses that malware that'll sit there, somehow magically stay in the hard drive SSD even if it's been formatted. I guess the truly best way to reformat or wipe completely, you can use like CC Cleaner, and that takes like 4 or 5, 8 hours to do. I've never honestly done that, but they say that's the proper way to do it. And knock on wood, I haven't dealt with that way. So I just once again, if a customer's like the situation, the codec was all like that, just wiped it, reinstalled Windows, and boom, back fresh. And from their wise, there's nothing lingering in the files, etc., because it's all freshly installed. And then we uploaded up all their documents, videos, whatever they cared about, we uploaded to the OS, etc., and put in the correct files. So that was a good case in that situation. But once again, first off, for the most part, I always do backups of backups. I highly recommend that. If you don't, the day your OS crashes, hopefully it just crashes because the hard drive is hurt, bad sectors, etc. It will not boot up. Maybe you can reinstall Windows, but even then, when your hard drive has bad sectors or weak sectors or communication errors with the OS, and mobile, etc., now you gotta just do, lucky you still get in the hard drive, you can still do your backups, recover this stuff, and then replace the hard drive with another hard drive. I recommend an SSD because they're very affordable nowadays. You make any computer for the most part, as long as you have 2 cores or more, really responsive. It's night and day. So, and they're once again hella affordable. So highly recommend them. But yeah. So once again, do backups. And with the antivirus, I tell you, just be cautious out there. Honestly. Once again, me personally, like when I work in custom computers when it's really slow and stuff, and I'll clean it up, tune it out, etc., which is good. But if the thing have a virus, and I tell people I can try to use malware to recover, and clean stuff up, etc., make it better. But if there are some deep Trojans, etc., some deep viruses that are in the registry hiding, the best bet in reality is just do back up everything as long as nothing's got hurt, codec, switch the codec, etc., and back everything up that you cared about. The main folders typically, documents, videos, downloads, desktop, music, etc. Back all that up, and then from there, I always tell my customer, I highly recommend just back your stuff up, wipe the hard drive, do a fresh, Windows install, and start fresh. Cause now nothing's lingering, so it's brand new basically. And from there, wise, just watch what you're doing. Another thing, wise, speaking of the whole antivirus, malware, etc. Another thing when when you're on the net, surfing, etc. If you ever get this, I just call it the red screen of death, whatever. It says call this way her number because you caught a virus, all that. Don't ever call that number. It's just a hacker coder. No, well, not I can't say coder, hacker wise, what you gonna call it. Waiting for you that jingle, so you get a phone call and then sound professional, and then just basically get you. They'll supposedly fix computer, but they're just adding software onto your computer that actually is gonna slow it down. And there's even software, for example, they'll add software where if you don't know computers, you don't know computers. You're just you're speaking to an IT guy basically, and they're fixing your computer because you got that rescuing a death wise to call that number. And honestly, they're installing software in the background that you don't know. Where basically, for the most part, a potential would happen is they have I don't know the full detail how it works, but basically, let's say they install on my laptop, and then okay, cool, whatever, I pay them month to fix it, and they fix it, etc. Now it slows down, but what more likely what they're probably doing is they install software to basically let them know, remotely wise, because obviously anything on the net, and especially when they add remote software, it'll tell them on their side of town, on their computer, hey, Marge is logged on, so now they're watching me, and on their side of town, they're basically doing screen recording, basically monitoring what I'm doing and what they're looking for. Honestly, looking for when I'm shopping on eBay, Amazon, etc. Credit card numbers, my information, social security number, etc. Because now they'll take my info and go shopping with it, have fun with it. So that's why you gotta be careful. So once again, you ever see that red screen of death, call this way her number, never call it. For the most part, when that happens, you need to try to hit close on the tab or Google, Firefox, whatever you're on. It will not close. It's just like locked. A lot of people, you can force to shut it down, reset the computer. That can potentially work. Sometimes it doesn't. You restart it. Boom. You open up Google, Firefox, and that's the first thing that pops up. It'll do automatically sometimes, and boom, red screen. If not, it'll ask you, do you want to restore? Don't restore. Another thing another trick you can do if you're not really, computer savvy wise, when you see that red screen of death, all you really gotta do honestly is hit Control Delete, go to Task Manager, and then hit open up the Task Manager wise. In the very top, you'll see like Google Chrome. Right click it, hit end task, and then it'll close completely all your UIs, and that'll be all gone. Now you open Google again, Firefox, whatever search engine you use, back to normal. So once again, don't ever never call that number, because once again, it's just a hacker trying to get paid, make that easy money because they don't want to work. So yeah, and on that portion wise, so like I tell you, this video can go on forever because antivirus is it's a big talk for the most part. A lot of people, when I say certain things, they get offended, especially like the IT guys and the big boys, because like for example, I tell people, for example, the whole thing with updates. Updates is cool, but definitely security updates is awesome. Whatever helps with the whole so you won't get catch, viruses. People won't come in, steal your information, etc. But for the honest part wise, if hackers want to come in, they're gonna come in, and especially if they have a squad, they're gonna just come in and take what they want to take. For the most part, they won't go after those little people. They can. For example, I'm doing this video. Hacker could be watching this. Oh, dude, I can get. Yeah, I know you can get to my computer. Most definitely you can. VPNs can slow you down. You have firewalls, all that good stuff. And hackers will, they will do that just to prove a point. So that's why you have to be cautious. But for the most part, honestly, you don't have to worry about nothing. It's once again, a hacker's gonna take what they want to take, and especially when once again they have a whole squad. The more they're them, the more it's easier to get in, etc. So, and that's why me personally wise, I don't care for updates. Honestly, I don't care for them. For perfect example, you have people who have no access to internet at all. Let's say they live in the cuts. They can't even use their hotspot, etc. Let's say they're still using computers to this day, no matter Windows XP 7, 8, or 10, old MacBooks, etc. The old OS X's. They're still using it for documents, and obviously they're not using it for the net because they can't go on the net. So they don't have to worry about catching the virus or hackers coming in because you're not on the net. So the only thing you really catch is if you plug in a USB that already has software that's got virus in it, and now you catch something because you transferred it in. But as far as you getting antivirus, getting hacked, you're not on the net, you're not plugged in, plugged in Ether, wired directly, or Wi-Fi, etc. So you don't have to worry about catching a virus. So once again, me personally, I don't care for updates at all. So right now, there's a lot of issues with, for example, the new Windows 10 1903, 1909. I'm right now, I call personally the king of blue screens, because I don't, just they keep doing these fresh new Windows 10 OSs, You know, they have the old Sentinel 3, Sentinel 9. They're always adding new stuff, which is cool. The downfall is just bringing them out too fast, and they're not, fixing the corrections correctly. Whereas they're testing them out for a long period of time. Because that's my personal opinion. You know, you keep bringing them out, like that's cool, but you know, just keep crashing computers, and right now they're having major issues. So that's kind of, man, me personally, honestly, when it comes to the Windows 10 world, I just prefer to use 1803 or 1809, which is more stable. Don't get blue screens, honestly, for the most part. If you don't care for none of that pretty stuff, because you're going transition from Windows 7, 8 to 10. Then if you don't care for all the pretty apps, it's too much for you, etc. And then just do like Windows 10 Enterprise, LTSB or LTSC, which is stripped. So kind of like Windows 7, where you hit the start button, all you have on there for the most part, especially in the Windows 7 version, it's just whatever programs that Windows 10 needs to run on the LTSB, LTSC. That's all that's on there. It's stripped. You don't have no app store, nothing. It's just whatever you install. It's just, that's just all it's on there. And which is, once again, if for a person that doesn't care for 10 and it's transitioning wise, that's a lot safer, a lot calmer, as you can say, because you're not overwhelmed where you hit the start button like on Windows 10 Home or Pro, where excuse me, it has all the pretty apps and all that stuff. Like me, I don't care for Pro. Like I use it, I'm wrong, but I use LTSC, LTSB because I don't care for I don't use the apps. I don't care for none of that stuff, honestly, at the moment. But some of my computers have Pro to show customers, etc. I prefer LTSC, LTSB. But yeah, sorry, I'm a little out of breath. But this is the longest video I've done in a minute, probably. But so yeah, like on all, I mean, I prefer to use Malwarebytes wise, and then yeah. So yeah, let me try to think anything else more with this wise. But yeah, I'll keep doing more videos wise. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to this whole thing. But once again, thanks Paul Boyd for asking me to do this video. I need to do a lot more videos, honestly, because like I said, once again, me personally, I'm here to help the world. No matter, if you're here locally wise, where I'm from, Eastern Washington wise, Yakima Valley, to the nation worldwide. If you have any computer questions, PM me, DM me wise. I post my videos, etc. And they have my phone number as far as the desktop page when I work at computers wise. And yeah, it's, that's what I'm trying to do. Help teach people how to work on their own computers without going to a computer shop to take care of that. Because honestly, for the breakdown, computers are really easy to work on. Really easy to work on. So, and then the awesome part nowadays, parts are really affordable. So as long as someone guides you, teaches you, you can do it yourself. And from there wise, maybe after you mess with your own computer, after I got a teacher wise, and talk to you, etc. Or through my videos wise, and you want to kind of get into this, hey, just DM me, shoot me, jingle, etc. I got you. I'll guide you, because honestly, I've been about 4 years, 4.5 years, going into 4.5 years into this wise, and pretty much for the most part, I learned as far as computer technician, repairing them, upgrades and mods in about 8-9 months. So I have all the software, so I can teach anybody like in a month easily. It's not that hard, just computer shops, techies make it sound complicated. What's more harder, honestly, like networking, coding, stuff like that. That's all different world. Like I understand the concept of how they work, but I'm the mechanic. I just make your older computers, even your computers, faster. Mod them up, add SSDs, harder combos, more RAM, fine tune the operating system, etc. So yeah, let me see if I think that's about it for this on this subject wise. So you guys any questions, leave them in the comments, DM me, PM, etc. Follow me on my Linktree, etc. on my platforms, be it on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, my Facebook business page, because I'm always doing portfolios on there. And once again, shout out to those people showing mad love with Instagram. That's hella cool. That's it's blowing up. It's doing good, man. So once again, I'm not trying to blow up on Instagram or Twitter feed wise. People just they're showing mad love to me, and I love to show it back. Because if we us little people wise, if we all work together, we can all make it in the social media world and then on top of that, push what you do, whatever product you do, whatever you if you're eBay flipping, if you're coding, programming, computer technician wise, whatever you're doing, just as long as we let people click with each other and help each other out, do shout outs and help each other out, we can all blow up. And if we all did follow each other, and like without me, I'm about to hit 2K on my Instagram social media platform. Well, that'd be awesome if I got the 2K on my YouTube channel wise, because the more subscribers, the more likes, etc. Then I can start getting paid. And I'm not saying I'm doing it for the money wise, but we can all I'll get paid because you guys, and once again, if my followers follow your people's, then we can all make money and do what we do what we love, etc. So like me personally, like I tell you, I'm just happy I'm finally pushing hard on this, and yeah, doing it for the people. So once again, so I'm here for the people. Like look where I'm from, computers wise, I don't charge a lot for what I do, and just to save people money while and keep everybody happy, and then just eventually become the plug for computer services slash selling refurbished computers to be Apple, Microsoft, etc. Because they're easy to work on. I love working on them. It's easy, man. So yeah, once again, thanks Paul Boyd for this. Once again, and I'm gonna do a lot more videos. So, and I'm just going off the top of my head. So I'll get better at these videos. I'm not for the time being. I'm not trying to make this professional YouTube videos and all that. I'm just going with it. I'm just a regular person trying to make it in this computer world and guide the world so they can save money. And another thing, wise, speaking of computers, wise and all, I got customers nationwide, wise. So like if you ever have computer issues, etc., I'll meet you halfway. So like I tell my customers, nationwide, wise, hey, if you want to ship it to me, I'll meet you halfway, and I'll bite the bullet and ship it back to you, wise. And then from there, I just do what I do to them. I tell them, hey, here's my recommendations. And I just fix it up. Typically run SSD hard drive combo, be it SSD hard drive internally wise, or remove the hard drive, and replace with SSD, and I'll take the old hard drive and put in hard drive enclosure. Now you have your whatever 500, 1 terabyte internal hard drive and external case wise. So, but yeah, that's another thing I offer wise. And then if you have, once again, if you ever have issues with computer wise, I can help you remotely, TeamViewer, etc. Jump on there and go back and forth, Jingle, etc. So yeah. Thanks again for this video, guys. Much love to all the IG, etc. people that follow me. It's thanks. Mad respect to you guys. And once again, we're little guy trying to come up in this world and do it good. And then, yeah, once again, thank you guys. Have a good night. Stay fresh. Have a good week. Ciao.